Hi, everybody. Welcome to Missouri City, Texas. Specifically, we're on Buffalo Run, the home of the Marshall Buffs and Fort Bend ISD. And right now, they're the leaders of District 24 5A boys basketball. And we're happy to be bringing you a game tonight between the Buffs and Angleton. Angleton, always a very worthy opponent. They have a one high school town down in Brazoria County, and they have great programs, great participation numbers all throughout, and they always have good athletes at Angleton. So they are kind of nipping at the heels of the Marshall Buffs as they lead District 24 5A. Oh, I'm Roger Smith. Glad you're with us on this beautiful Tuesday night as it's chilly outside, but not nearly as cold as it's been the last few days, and that's going to feel better tonight when we all hit the hay. So, Marshall taking on Angleton. We'll set it up for you with the Countdown to Tip-Off show. We'll talk about other broadcasts that we'll have later this week, and we have a whole bunch of them. And we'll also set up the standings for you in District 24 5A because 4 teams get into the playoffs, and, most of them are going to miss out. Our coverage is brought to you tonight on VypeFortBend.com, the broadcast home of Fort Bend County sports by Xfinity, the future of awesome. We're also brought to you by First Tire and Automotive. They've got 4 great locations in Fort Bend County, including Katy Cinco Ranch, on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land, Greatwood, and also in First Colony. For the best prices on tires, go to FirstTireandAuto.com, and they also have great prices and great service. Anything that your car needs to keep it running at its very best, and you can always get discounts, especially in the month of January. Happy New Year, everybody, from First Tire and Automotive. We're also brought to you by the Needville Insurance Agency. They'll give you the best rates on your car and home insurance. Just call Bradley Stavanaugh and his team, or you can go to the website, needvilleinsurance.com. They will get it done for you. They shop all those carriers, and they get you the very best rate on car and home. It's worth it, believe me. You got teenage drivers, you got preteens who are going to be driving before too long, and you got to be ready for that and save as much money as you can. And we're also brought to you by Archer Volkswagen. They've been open since 1956 on the southbound side of Highway 59. I still call it 59. Others call it 69. Just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. They are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. And we're just happy to have them as a sponsor. We really appreciate it. You will feel like family when you're at Archer Volkswagen. Okay, we're going to step aside and be back with the Countdown to Tip-Off show as the teams are warming up here inside the gym at Marshall. Angleton taking on your Buffs. And we'll be back with Thomas Josie, head coach of the Angleton Wildcats, when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive understands with the new year comes change. Well, we don't believe all change is good, so we are keeping our $15 off an oil change. So now's the time to head to the website, FirstTireandAuto.com, and claim your savings. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for years, getting you to and from the game always. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Welcome, everybody, to the Countdown to Tip-Off show. It's Tuesday night and a pretty good 24 5A matchup as Angleton comes to Buffalo Run to take on the Marshall Buffs. And it's time to welcome to the Countdown to Tip-Off show Thomas Josie, head coach of the Angleton Wildcats. And we're early enough in the district season where I think the best first question is to ask you to kind of sum up what your team has done thus far.
Well, I mean, we play good at times. We've been looking for more consistency from everybody. Defensively, we've been really good. Offensively, we've been up and down. So I'm looking for a consistent effort out of everybody tonight.
Well, this district, year in and year out, is just really, really tough and a lot of quality. And for the last several seasons, the Marshall Buffs, they played some good games here and there, but they have not been as strong as they appear to be this year. As you scout the Buffs, what do you see?
Very athletic team. They got Jalen Lowe and the Marshall kid. They can get to the basket, score at any time from anywhere on the floor. So it's going to be a good challenge for us tonight. They match up with us athletically, and so we got to be sound, smart, and play fundamental basketball tonight.
One thing I know is great about being at Angleton, just the fact that you have 5 basketball teams in the high school, if I'm not mistaken, 2 freshman teams, sophomore, JV, and varsity. Not a lot of schools have that these days, and I realize it's a one high school town, but that's not an automatic. So what are the things that you do as a program, not just basketball, but all of athletics at Angleton, to make sure you have so many kids participating?
Well, the number one thing is, we try to teach kids, or be fair to the kids. Number one, we push them as hard as we can, try to get the most out of each one, and they know we're going to give them everything we got, so they want to be a part of that. So it's been good. It's good to have 5 teams this year. The program is growing, and I'm happy to see it.
And let's talk about what your team needs to do to get a very important and difficult road win tonight. Who are the guys that have to do certain things and meet certain measurable goals during this game to get the victory tonight?
Well, our inside game, the guys got to box out and get the rebound and limit their possessions. Our guards, can't turn the ball over. And if we make smart passes and play smart offenses, we'll be good. We'll be good. This is going to be a tough one tonight. They're a great team. Coach Courtney's doing a real good job with these guys, and I'm looking forward to it.
And I guess accurate to say that the Buffs do have kind of across the board of the guys who are going to play significant minutes, they have more height than you do, right?
Oh, yeah. So we're always at a disadvantage height-wise, but, we got some guys that can jump and physical, Marcus Spears, Tavion Sullivan, those guys inside, Sean Stroman. They're going to be physical with them. So, like I say, if our guards handle the pressure that they're going to put on us, we'll be fine.
Well, I'm expecting a competitive game here tonight, and I think you feel good if you feel like it's been competitive through the midway, the third quarter, and then it's anybody's ball game at that point.
If we can keep it close and handle what they're gonna throw at us, it'll be a good game. If not, then things could go the other way. But I'm expecting the guys they had a good week of practice. I'm expecting good things tonight.
All right, thank you for being with us. That is Thomas Josie, head coach of Angleton, and we'll be back with Ronnie Courtney, whose Buffs are pretty strong thus far in the 2021/2022 season. I'm Roger Smith. This is the VypeFortBend.com Countdown to Tip-Off show. Our coverage is brought to you tonight by Xfinity, the future of awesome, by First Tire and Automotive with 4 great Fort Bend County locations. We're also brought to you by Archer Volkswagen, in business since 1956 and ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. And we're also brought to you by the Needville Insurance Agency, where you can get the very best rate on your home and car insurance. You don't even have to leave your home. You can call Needville Insurance Agency or go to needvilleinsurance.com. We'll be back with Coach Courtney right after this.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity Internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Tip-Off show. It's going to be Marshall taking on Angleton. Roger Smith with Ronnie Courtney, head coach of the Buffs, and time really flies. Is this your second or third season as the head coach of the Buffs?
This is my second.
Okay, well, maybe it doesn't fly quite as fast as I think it does sometimes, but, I think that it's really a situation with your team. I think you have a great collection of players, and they've just been outstanding. I know you're very demanding, and you can kind of pick apart some of the things that they've done, but just give us a summary of how they played so far.
Well, this team is very unique. As you stated earlier, they get along very well. Not like we were last year where there was so much dissension, but this team here is amazingly close. They understand the game, and they love to play. And it's easy to coach those kind of kids.
I know that when you're a coach and if you're a leader as a player, you have to say things like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, that kind of thing. I'm a member of the lowly media, so I can kind of make those speculative, trains of thought. And I'm just thinking with the group that you have, you've got the qualifications of a head coach with multiple state championships. So what do you think this team is capable of?
Well, we talked about it early in the year. I don't talk about it very often because I want those kids to stay focused on what the task skills at hand. But we've talked about making a deep playoff run, something that we didn't get a chance to do last year. But I think these kids are very capable of making a long run. I know the Beaumont United and the Katy Paytals are out there, but these kids I think they'll be able to stand the test of time. They'll be able to perform at their level when it comes to their time.
And before playoffs get here, you got to get through a very tough district. It's tough every single stinking year. I mean, very hard just to get into the top four. And who do you think are the teams with the best opportunity to be in the playoff bracket?
Like you just said, it's a district where on any given day you can be beaten, and we just have to stay focused. But if you ask me about 4 teams that I think can make it, I think Hightower has an excellent shot. I think Angleton has an excellent shot. I think Foster has an excellent shot, and I think you have to count us in that 4 as well. But not discrediting the other teams, but off the top of my head, those are the 4 teams that I've had my eyes on. Of course, we played Lamar Consolidated in a tournament. I've already played Terry in the first district ball game. I played Kempner already. So, any night, any one of those teams can come out and beat you if you're not focused, and I got to keep my guys focused as best I can.
You're taking on a quality club tonight, Angleton. It's a good program because with being at one high school town, they always seem to have great participation numbers. They have 5 teams in the high school program. What are your guys, let's talk about 3 measurable goals for individuals on your team that'll have to be accomplished for you to hold serve and get the win here tonight at home.
First and foremost for me is we have to play great defense. I'm a defensive-minded coach. I think if we can play great defense, we have a shot to beat anybody. I think we have to rebound the ball well because I know they're a very athletic team and they get on the boards quite well. And I think the ability to make free throws when that comes. We have had problems making free throws lately, but I think if we do those 3 things right there, of course, we'll execute offensively, but playing defense, rebounding, and making free throws will give us an opportunity to win tonight.
All right, Coach Courtney, it's good to visit with you. I'll be visiting with you again on Friday as you take on Lamar Consolidated, and maybe you'll get sick of me. That would be good for your team. The more you win, the more we pick your games.
Well, I appreciate you coming out, and I know the kids will appreciate the fact that you are broadcasting the game live, and very appreciative kids, and I know I appreciate everything that you've done and you are doing right now. So the more we win, the more I see you, then we'll become really good friends.
And it's my pleasure, because I'll tell you what, Coach, I never get tired of this stuff. I mean, I don't feel like I'm ever going to feel old if I just keep watching kids play sports. That's what really is something I can enjoy on an ongoing basis.
Well, I appreciate that. And, watching these kids play and mature, being in the sports realm like you are, it does you pleasure and great pleasure to see these young people grow. You say, hey, I remember that kid when I called one of his ball game. And that's provided they're going and do the right thing in life. You can remember these kids for the most positive things that they do.
And those of us who are old can say, oh, we were better than that in our day.
You're absolutely right. I tell them all the time, I say, you all couldn't have made it back in my day when I played. And they just laugh at me and they told, no, yeah, we could have. But it's been fun coaching these kids, and I look forward to continuing to coach them as the days and the games go on.
Always fun talking to you, Ronnie Courtney. Good luck tonight against Angleton. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's go, man.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Okay, fans, we're already ready already, and that means that we're going to jump center right now. This game is underway between your Marshall Buffs. Chris Catchings, the 6'4" sophomore, jumping center, and the Buffs control the tap. It is Jalen Lowe, 6'3" junior, sends it into the corner. Jalen Reedus gives up the ball, sends it over the left side. Chris Marshall, left corner three is no good, but the rebound to Reedus, and the Buffs get another chance. Over on the left wing, looking inside, it's Omani Ozen trying to get his look, but then he sends it over to Jalen Lowe, and he bombs away from 25 feet. It is 3-0, the Buffs on top. Not a lot of sound from the crowd, even though we have a good crowd on hand, but they're just kind of used to seeing the Buffs dominate. All right, here we go with Angleton on offense. It is Malik Woods and a whistle. We don't have the very best vantage point for looking at the table, but it looks like the table is actually on the floor. The scorer's table, you know, they have that rolling thing, and it illuminates, and it has welcome to Thurgood Marshall. It looks very good, but the officials are saying, you know, it's basically on the court, so they had to push it back a few inches. That's what the whistle was about. Traylon Wooten of Angleton blocked along the baseline, but he gets the ball away to Sean St. Romain, the 6'1" senior. Now, dribbling the ball, majestic forward between the rings. Angleton trying to work the ball in against the bigger Marshall Buffs team, and there's a steal. Steal taken away by Jalen Lowe, all the way to the rack, and it rolls in. 5-0, Marshall on top. This might be one of those games where if you're Angleton, if you get behind early, you might say, Mayday, Mayday, we're going down. And it is Malik Woods who sends it over to the corner, and an embarrassing shot off the top of the backboard, Traylon Wooten, and that's a turnover. The Buffs get it back, leading by a score of 5-0. Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com, and I thought I would have more time in the countdown to tip-off show than I did, but we'll be letting you know what we're going to do for the rest of the week, and we will be busy. We'll have a wide variety of entertainment for you here during the basketball season. Inside, the Buffs get it, and Chris Catchings making a move toward the hoop from the right elbow down the right restraining line of the free throw lane. It was on the floor, and therefore it is going to be a throw-in, not free throws. Ozen throws it in all the way over everybody. Top of the key, gets it to Reedus. They send it over into the left corner. Ozen gets the ball back, and a near steal by Angleton. The whistle. And I think it's going to be Angleton ball, last touched by the Buffs. Seriously, I've never seen a scorer's table that is so close to the sideline. I mean, it's just right on top of it. Okay, so Malik Woods, running point guard for Angleton, gives the ball up to Ford. Ford kills his dribble and hands the ball to St. Romain. Now they work it around the perimeter. It is back in the hands of Woods. Marshall, very tall, very long, wearing the white uniforms with the black numbers trimmed in gold. There's a jumper from the baseline, majestic forward, it's no good, one and done. Chris Marshall grabs the rebound quickly down the floor to Jalen Lowe and give the assist to Jalen Reedus. And it's 7-0, Marshall on top. It's almost like a football game. We've been playing less than 2 minutes, and the Marshall Buffs already have 7 points on the board. Of course, these two teams don't play in the same football district. By the way, Angleton should have turned it over because one of their players, Majestic Ford, stepped on the line. The official missed it, but then Ford threw a hot cross-court pass that went out of bounds near the Marshall bench. And before the Buffs bring it back in, it's going to be timeout Angleton. 7-0 with 5 to Sorry about that. 7:39 to go in quarter number one, and it's 7-0. Marshall Buffs on top. We'll be back after this from Archer Volkswagen.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Back inside the gym at Marshall as the cheerleaders are right in front of our table, and they add some wonderful sound to what we've got going tonight. Jalen Lowe with a three. That one way short, and the rebound to Angleton as St. Romain gets it, but it's stolen away by the Buffs. Ozan with a little floater, jumped over the free throw line and knocked it down. It is 9-0. The Buffs on top of Angleton. Angleton wearing the purple uniforms. Malik Woods gives the ball up to Majestic Ford, spins into the lane and gets on the board for Angleton. Their two-pointer makes it 9-2. Buffs on top. Jalen Lowe to Chris Marshall, who was not available this past weekend to the Buffs because he was playing in a football all-star game. So you got the great two-sport star Chris Marshall, and he launches a three. It's off the back iron, no good. Rebound grabbed by Reedus, and he goes up strong, and he misses, but a foul on Angleton. The official holds up a fist indicating number 0, so Majestic Ford guilty of the foul. And the first free throw good by Reedus, a 6'2 junior. Substitution for Angleton as they sit down. Sean St. Romain and Langston Myrick comes in. He's a promising 6'3 sophomore. Second free throw good. Reedus hits both, and it's 11-2. 4:42 to go in the first quarter. Angleton with yet another substitution. They bring in Tavion Sullivan, and he replaces Marcus Spears. Now it's Traylon Wooten bringing the ball up against pressure in the backcourt, and it's a double dribble. Wooten got the ball poked away from him, and he regained it and forgot that he couldn't dribble again. Or maybe he didn't get it poked it away. Maybe he lost it on his own. Ozen throws it in from the far sideline, gets the ball back. No look pass to Chris Marshall inside the lane. Can't get his shot, but a nice pass along the baseline and a shot up, but it's blocked. Chris Catchings was blocked. Still to maintain, the Buffs maintain possession. And there is Reedus with a putback after a missed jumper by Ozen. It is 13-2. The Buffs on top. I didn't try to pick the blowout game, but that might be what we have. Angleton gets it down to the baseline, gets it deep, but then they have to settle for the three-pointer. It's no good, but a putback by Langston Myrick. That makes it 13-4. Here comes Lowe, over to Ozan. Reedus in the corner. They work the perimeter. Lowe to Chris Marshall in the left corner, drives the baseline, puts it off the window, and good. Driving past his counterpart, who also wears number 4, Langston Myrick, to make it a 15-4 Marshall lead. Ozan kicks it back out, air ball by Myrick. Buffs with the rebound, quickly down the floor. Marshall behind the back pass. A little too much French pastry, but it's going to work out okay for the Buffs as Chris Catchings went up and he was fouled on his way to the hoop. And it appears that Malik Woods, who was doing anything he could to stop the ball, was the one that fouled Catchings. 3 fouls thus far for Angleton. And Catchings' first free throw is off the back iron. It's no good. 3:22 to go in quarter number 1. Marshall leading Angleton 15-4. Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com. Catchings ready to try another one. And it's good. 16-4. There goes Malik Woods into the forecourt, kills his dribble, almost got the ball stolen away, gives it away to Tavion Sullivan. Now Woods has it back. He's near the midcourt circle. guarded by Ozen. And it's stolen away by the Buffs. Jalen Lowe stole it ahead to Ozen, and he lays it up from the left side, and it's good to make it 18-4. Inside 3 minutes to go in the first. These Marshall Buffs are looking as tough as the standings say they are, and I'll tell you what the standings are when I get an opportunity. We're going to do that during countdown to tip-off, but they got this game underway. Now we've got a held ball, a Buff and a Wildcat, both grabbing the basketball, and the arrow favors Angleton. So they'll throw it in along the baseline. Jordan Stanley Pickett is into the game. 6'1" senior guard. Sends it to Woods in the corner on the left. Guarded closely by Reedus. Can't get away. Now gets the ball over to Myrick. He's in traffic. He puts it up. It's no good. Ball goes out of bounds. And the Wildcats were the last to touch it. So the Buffs have it. 18-4 is the Marshall lead, and they lead in District 24 5A. Their record is 4-0 in district games, 15-2 overall. Chris Marshall holds the ball over his head, sends it into Catchings. Driving from the left elbow, has to kick it back out. Jalen Lowe thinking about the three. Couple of jab steps, now he moves to his left. Ozen through the lane, gets the ball knocked away, and a foul called on Angleton. Go Buffs indeed, and they have pretty much run off and left Angleton thus far. Inbounding of the basketball, Catchings slipped a little bit as he tried to drive in past the arc. Now over in the left corner it is Jalen Lowe. Moving to his right, side-to-side dribble. It's a 2-3 zone for Angleton, and Lowe launches the three. It's good from 22 feet. And our score is 21-4 with 2:09 to go in quarter number one. Over on the left side, it's DeMarcus Randall, who just came into the game for Angleton. Misses a jump shot. One and done as the Buffs grab the rebound. Catchings grabbed it, but he threw an outlet pass intended for Ozen. And Ozen didn't know it was coming. It was like a receiver running down the football field who didn't know the quarterback had gone to him with the football. So Malik Woods inbounds the ball now, or takes the inbounds pass for Angleton. And left baseline, Myrick can't get the shot that he wants. And a little teardrop floater by Jordan Stanley Pickett's no good. Rebound Jaden Lowe of the Buffs. He'll take it all the way. And he is blocked. That's an impressive one by Tavion Sullivan. Here come the Wildcats. Three-pointer from the right corner is no good by Stanley Pickett. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Marshall. And now we have a substitution as Marcus Spears comes back into the game for Angleton. And DeMarcus Randall comes out after a short stint, less than a minute and a half to go in quarter number one. On the right wing, Chris Marshall sends it over to Ozen in the corner. Now they work the perimeter. Jalen Lowe scored from there the last time. There goes Marshall, drives inside the three-point arc. His layup is no good, rebounds his miss, goes back up strong, and there's no stopping Chris Marshall. He's a beast under the glass. 23-4, Buffs lead it. Little dipsy-do dunkaroo move by Tavion Sullivan. Well, it was a dipsy-do move. He didn't quite dunk it, but it's a two-pointer for Angleton. Catchings. Mid-range jumper from the right baseline. It's no good. And a foul is going to be called. And it's on someone for Angleton. Or maybe someone stepped on the baseline while they touched the ball. Nobody gained possession of the ball. Buffs working it. Catchings, left corner. Moves into the free throw circle. Kicks it back out to Chris Marshall. 30 feet away. And we've got a whistle. I don't think anybody called timeout. I'm not really sure what the interruption is all about here at Marshall. Now we do have a substitution as it's Majestic Ford coming in, and Malik Woods takes a seat for the Wildcats. Okay, the Buffs inbound right in front of the Angleton bench. Ozen to Lowe, back to Ozen, now Chris Marshall. Back and forth they go, a half a minute to go in the first quarter, and Chris Marshall takes a look at the scoreboard. It looks like Coach Ronnie Courtney wants his Buffs to hang on to the ball and shoot the ball when the buzzer is imminent. Here goes Ozen into the paint. gives it to Catchings. He is blocked, but gets his missed shot and puts it right back in. 10 seconds to go. It's 25-6. Here comes Angleton. Majestic Ford down the right sideline. Gets past everybody into the paint, but he lays it up too hard. Catchings. His pass is deflected. Ball grabbed by Atavion Sullivan, but he can't get a shot up before the first quarter ends, and it's all Marshall Buffs. 25-6. Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com. We'll be right back after this from Xfinity.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
First Tire Automotive understands with the new year comes change. Well, we don't believe all change is good, so we are keeping our $15 off an oil change. So now's the time to head to the website firsttireauto.com and claim your savings. First Tire Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for years, getting you to and from the game always. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireauto.com.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have Matt Malatesta, the chief content editor of Vype and Vype Magazine, visiting and talking about the state of high school and college sports today, especially for the great players who are very much in demand in the transfer portal. And Chris Marshall and Texas A&M, where Devon A-Chain plays. As we start the second quarter, it's Chris Marshall missing a three-pointer from the right corner. And the ball ends up in the hands of Langston Myrick. No pressure in the backcourt from your Buffs right now. Jalen Lowe picks up Majestic Ford as he moves across the timeline. They send it over to the right side. Stanley Pickett gets it inside to Atavion Sullivan, who can't get it to go. Chris Marshall is nearly ahead of the pack. His shot is blocked. Jalen Lowe gets the rebound of the loose ball and goes up strong. 27-6. A near travel by Majestic Ford in the backcourt, but he gets it ahead. Atavion sends it to the right corner. 3 on the way and good. Marcus Spears hits one. That makes it 27-9, but Chris Marshall quickly back down the floor. Good hustle on defense. Majestic Ford and Marcus Spears going up at the same time to try and deny Chris Marshall an easy hoop. And they succeed, but he will go to the free throw line. And that call went against Marcus Spears. Chris Marshall rat-a-tat on the first free throw, and it goes down through, 28-9. Marshall, an amazing stat, one of the more amazing stats I have seen in my life as a sportscaster. He caught 13 passes during the regular season in football. 13 passes total, 11 touchdowns. It wasn't a misprint. That's the way it happened. He made the second free throw. It is 29-9. And the Buffs with a near steal. Catchings pokes it away to Chris Marshall, and that'll be a one-hand jam. And I guess he needs to add something to that dunk because the crowd didn't really respond very well. Angleton quickly back down the floor. Majestic Ford scores. There goes Marshall to the rack. Lays it up and good. 33-11. Less than 6.5 minutes to go before Matt Malatesta is our halftime guest. There's a three-pointer from the left corner. Sean St. Romain. It's good. 33-14. And Ozen stepped on the baseline as he threw the ball in. So that's a turnover. So Angleton not only gets the three-pointer to get within 33-14, they also get the ball underneath the basket at which they're shooting. And a long inbounds pass to Atavion Sullivan, sends it to Jordan Stanley Pickett. Little jab step, hasn't started dribbling yet. There he goes, near the top of the key, kills it. Gives the ball up to Marcus Spears. And it's a three-pointer on the way, and it's no good by St. Romain, but he rebounds his miss. Tries to go up and score and draws a foul as he does. All right, so while he prepares to shoot free throws. We'll tell you what we got as the week goes on. So tomorrow night it is boys hoops, Elkins against Bush from Hobson Fieldhouse. Patrick Kinnick and I will bring you that one starting at about 7 o'clock. First free throw is no good by St. Romain. Here comes another one, and it rattles in. 33-15. No basketball on Thursday, but on Friday it's Marshall at Lamar Consolidated. I'll bring you that one starting at about 7 p.m. A whistle as Marshall is on offense, and let me tell you about 2 games on Saturday. Girls hoops at 11:30 a.m., George Ranch at Austin, and boys hoops at 1 o'clock, Travis at Bush. So that's a full week. Jalen Lowe at the free throw line misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Buffs leading by 18, 33-15. And now here goes Angleton, a little floater through the lane. St. Romain misses it, but he rebounds his miss and puts it right back in, and it's 33-17. Here comes Jalen Lowe between the rings, guarded by Majestic Ford. Sends it over on the left side, Ozen. Now it's Chris Marshall launching from 30 off the front iron, no good. Rebound taken by Marcus Spears of Angleton, and here come the Wildcats. Spinning into the paint, and the ball tipped by Marshall as St. Romain was trying to create a shot for himself. Substitution, Jordan Stanley Pickett is replaced by Traylon Wooten. It is Wooten throwing it in along the baseline. Gets it into Ford. Ford dribbles away from the traffic. Side-to-side dribble, moves into the free throw circle, kicks it back out. Long three on the way, Sullivan, no good. Rebound taken by Trey Roberts of Marshall. Gets it to Jalen Lowe, step back three in there. 36-17, under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Lowe with a near steal in the backcourt. The ball went out of bounds. And to keep him from grabbing it, Traylon Wooten reached for it. Wooten of Angleton last touched it, so the Buffs get it back. Leading 36-17. Jalen Lowe again in and out with that three, but Chris Marshall runs down the rebound in the right corner, right in front of us. Gets it to Lowe. Lowe moves between the rings, now over on the left side, back to Lowe. Now Chris Marshall drives inside the three-point arc, leaves it for Catchings, can't get the shot off. Gets it back to Chris Marshall at the left elbow, kicks it back out to Ozen, three on the way, no good. Rebound Angleton. St. Romain gobbled it up. Traylon Wooten in the forecourt, loses the basketball. Another turnover for the Angleton Wildcats. For Marshall, Chase McKenzie, a sophomore, is fresh into the game and brings the ball across the timeline, gives the ball to Jalen Lowe, bounces it over there to McKenzie, back to Lowe. It's a two-man game until now. Now it's over in the left side, left corner. It is Chris Marshall inside the three-point arc, and his two-pointer is long. No good. Rebound to Atavion Sullivan of Angleton, and he's fouled in the backcourt by Chris Marshall with exactly 4 minutes to go in quarter number 2. So in the standings of District 24-5A, Marshall is 4-0. Beginning the night's action, the Hightower Hurricanes are at 4-1. That's tied with Angleton. Hightower and Angleton tied for second place with records of 4-1, and Foster and Kempner tied for fourth with district records of 2-2. And Angleton with a turnover in the forecourt. Sean St. Romain lost control of the ball. He was trying to get the dribble going again right in front of the Marshall bench, and he dribbled it on the sideline. Driving it is Jalen Lowe, loses control of the ball, and McKenzie will throw it in along the baseline. Malik Woods is back in for Angleton, and Marcus Spears will go to the bench. 3:44 to go. McKenzie to Jalen Lowe, almost stepped on the line. Three-pointer on the way, off the front iron, high rebound taken by Myrick of Angleton. And here come the Wildcats pushing it up the floor. Left sideline, long three, Majestic Ford missed everything. And a putback try is no good by Myrick. But after he missed on his putback try, he goes up and misses again but gets fouled. So it is a sleepy Tuesday night crowd here at Marshall. The cheerleaders doing everything they can to get everybody fired up. You hear that? All right, here we go. 3:33 left in the first half, and it's 36-18 Marshall with exactly twice as many points as the visitors from Angleton, and that's not true anymore as Myrick hits a free throw to make it 36-19. Jalen Lowe between the rings. He's guarded by Braden Campbell, who just entered the game for the Wildcats. Now Chris Marshall on the left wing, back to Lowe. Near the top of the key, tries to find his shot, can't get it, sends it to McKenzie. On the left wing, back to Lowe between the rings. Little jab step, still hasn't dribbled, there he goes. Backs into the free throw circle, a little Euro step, and it's off the iron, no good. Rebound fought for. Chase Crawford had a handle on it for a moment, but Angleton took it away. The Wildcats trail 36-19 with less than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Malik Woods sends the ball over to Braden Campbell, stops at the left elbow, kicks it back out. Three on the way, no good by St. Romain. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will still belong to the Wildcats. Don't forget, be with us at halftime. It is Matt Malatesta, the chief content editor of Vype, and we're talking about all kinds of amazing things. Quick entry pass, and it's Majestic Ford scoring. Give the assist to Langston Myrick, dropping a dime, a bounce pass right after receiving the inbounds pass, and it's 36-21. Angleton within 15. Jalen Lowe, cross-court pass to McKenzie, who fell and traveled. He put his left foot back and tried to make a hard cut, but evidently there was some moisture on the floor, and his foot slipped out from under him, so it's Angleton trailing by 15. Less than 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Baseline jumper, no good. Majestic Ford fight for the rebound, grabbed by Crawford of Marshall. And I think he was shoved out of bounds, or the pass was knocked out, or the ball was knocked out of his hands by Angleton. Anyway, Marshall has it with 2:14 to go. Jalen Lowe gets it to Chris Marshall just inside the three-point arc, pulls up and short with a two-pointer. Still a 15-point game, 2 minutes to go. And there goes Angleton, and a steal by Lowe. Ahead to Marshall. This could be a dunk. No, he's going to lay it off the window. It's good. 38-21. Showing good restraint there. Malik Woods hustled back and played good defense and forced Marshall to settle for the layup. It's a 17-point advantage, 38-21. Angleton trying to get something good before the end of the first half. There is St. Romain losing the ball. It bounces off of his shoe and past the baseline. So many quick hands coming in there. The Marshall Buffs just are relentless in the way they harass you when you are possessing the basketball. Jalen Lowe with Braden Campbell on him. Looking for a pick, doesn't get it. And there is Trey Roberts. Gives the ball up. Catchings is blocked at the right elbow, but gets the ball back. Jalen Lowe, three on the way, in and out. No good. Rebound Angleton. St. Romain grabs it, and he's fouled in the backcourt by the 6'2 freshman Chase Crawford of Marshall. Fortunately for the Buffs, they're not over the limit. That's just their fifth personal foul of this first half. 17-point game, and Angleton has 109 on the clock as they inbound it. Ford moves between the rings, meets a double team. Bounce pass to Malik Woods. Nice no-look pass into St. Romain, but his layup is too hard. Angleton gets the rebound, and a nice job by Majestic Ford. A shot that kind of crawls over the front side of the rim. 45 seconds to go, and it's a 15-point game again. Jalen Lowe in the forecourt for Marshall. They're in no hurry. Chris Marshall faked a three, went into the paint, kicked it back out to Trey Roberts. Trey tries it, Trey. It's no good. Rebound, Marshall. He goes up, and he'll get two shots. Majestic Ford called for the foul, and he can't believe it. But Chris Marshall, who is committed to go to Texas A&M, will go to the free throw line. He'd probably want to play both football and basketball, and if that's what he wants, I hope it's what he gets to do as he misses the first free throw. But sometimes when you get to the big-time college, they will strongly encourage you to pick one or the other. Marshall deep knee bend, second free throw, swish. 25.5 seconds to go before the half, and it's a 16-point game. Malik Woods dribbling up, meeting a double team at midcourt. Inside to Myrick, but off his hands. He kind of hesitated. He kind of short-armed it as he was about to run into Chase Crawford. 15 seconds to go. Jalen Lowe walks it across the timeline for the Buffs, who will try to expand their 16-point lead as we go to the break. Malik Woods guarding Lowe, side-to-side dribble into the paint he goes, pulls up from the free throw line, off the back iron, no good. And there was the buzzer, but there was a whistle before the buzzer. And I guess the first half is over. All right, it's over. The first half is 39-23, and we'll be back with Matt Malatesta. This is Roger Smith. Glad you're with us on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
Welcome to halftime. Glad you're with us on VypeFortBend.com, and it's time to talk to Matt Malatesta, the managing editor. Did I get the title right? Of yes. Vype and world headquarters and so forth?
You got it.
Well, one thing that I've noticed, I always like to watch Todd Freed's program, H-Town High School Sports, which comes on CW39 and also AT&T Sportsnet, and it's powered by Vype. And one of the recent editions, you talked about early National Signing Day, but there's still plenty to talk about coming up when the other National Signing Day is coming up. So what are some of the things that you're most, some mysteries that maybe you're looking forward to finding out where different athletes go?
Well, I tell you what, much of the hay is already in the barn. We've got a couple of guys left. Harold Perkins is one. He's from Cy Park. So we're not sure where he's going to end up, but that will come soon enough, probably this weekend. But other than that, there's just a lot of Division I, Division II type guys that are trying to figure out with all the coaching movement where they're going to fit in and, what schools have interest in them. The portal has totally changed recruiting, and it's really tough for kids that are in high school now because they're battling transfers, to like a Sam Houston. Sam Houston's a great example. Sam Houston's going to take a ton of transfers where that used to be wide open for high school players in the city of Houston to go to. So you're going to see a lot of that, moving around. So my advice to high school kids that get offered, don't be afraid to commit because you want to hold your space. But there will be a few trickle in the later signing day, but mostly it's already done.
It seems like it's almost kind of maybe a high school version of what I started to see in the 90s. I lived out in El Paso, and Neil McCarthy was the head basketball coach of New Mexico State. And sometimes he got criticized for kind of reworking his team with JUCOs every year, but that's just kind of what became the way of the world. We saw John Calipari basically perfect it in Kentucky basketball, but it's also going to be true in football, I suppose, now too. Am I right?
Yeah, and Kansas State used to be great at that. Bill Snyder used to do so much recruiting the JUCO landscape. Now you could just virtually recruit the portal and not even recruit high school kids. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss has kind of taken that route. He signed maybe 3 or 4 kids in early signing day, and now he's just recruiting the portal.
By the way, as you were talking about that, the reason they didn't see it on radio, but I smiled because it almost seems like it's a dating site. You know, just kind of people and institutions can let everybody know that they are available.
They are. And what's funny is I think Wyoming was the school which actually put an ad in the New York Times looking for a quarterback. I mean, that, you know, if that says it all. But, you know, the movement, I don't love it. I think there has to be some sort of reboot of how this is going to work. So we'll see how it plays out.
Well, I'm like you in that I don't love it. You know, I kind of like things, you know, I grew up when you could think about a team's lineup in whatever sport and it kind of stayed the same for a good 5, 6, 7 years and you knew who all the players were. I know that's not going to change, but let me throw this question at you before we wrap this up. I know that here in Texas we're very proud, and people who went to big universities in Texas are proud of their team, and man, it just galls them when they can't get over on the others. The Texas A&M football recruiting class was just astronomically good, even at early National Signing Day. And, you know, it's been 1939 since the Aggies have actually won a national football championship. Do you think in 2 or 3 years, based on what they have coming in, that maybe they can get that done?
Well, being an LSU fan, it's, you know, your fingers crossed that they don't. But what Jimbo Fisher has built, and you're seeing what they're doing, they're building with the offensive defensive line first. This is a historic moment for them because they're the number one class likely as it relates to all the recruiting sites. And they filled needs, really important needs up front in the trenches. And I think, you know, the Aggies are dying for this. They really, really foresee them winning a national championship in a couple of years. But how much pressure does that put on Jimbo Fisher if he doesn't win a national championship in a couple of years? But I think their offensive and defensive line will be spectacular. I think Connor Wigman could be really, really special as a quarterback. They've got skilled guys. But here's the other thing. The portal can bring a team down because not everybody can play.
That's right. There's only 11 guys on the field at each time.
Exactly. So somebody's going to be disgruntled, and how they manage that is going to be very interesting. But they're set up for success if there ever was in the history of the state of Texas. UT used to do this. You know, they would be crowned, you know, the national champions for recruiting in February. They got it done one time. Let's see if A&M can do it. I think they can. They got the resources. Now the target is going to be massive on Jimbo Fisher's back to deliver them a national championship.
All right, well, basketball halftimes are short. I wish they were like football. No, I don't wish they were like football halftimes. But if they were, we'd have more time to talk. Thanks, Matt, for being with us, and Happy New Year.
Roger, you are killing it at Fort Bend, the voice of Fort Bend. Thanks so much for all you do for Vype, and we'll see you down the road.
My pleasure, sir. All right, we'll be back.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay, ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
Just in time for you to hear the buzzer. That is the officials telling the people at the scores table to hurry the players out here. All right, so the Marshall Buffs leading 39-23 as we go to the third quarter against their district rivals from Angleton. Marshall with an overall record of 15-2 coming into tonight's action and leading District 24-5A with a 4-0 record. But they didn't play great defense on that first possession. Quickly inside Angleton gets the ball to Marcus Spears, and the 6'2 senior knocks one in to get it to a 14-point game. It is 39-25. Jalen Lowe sends it to the right. Now inside, it's Chris Catchings. Gives the ball up to Chris Marshall. Bounces pass back to him, and he's blocked by the bottom side of the backboard, but there is a foul committed by Angleton. I think they're going to get Sean St. Romain for this one. It's either him or Traylon Wooten. Well, you know what? Since Traylon Wooten is not on the floor, I think it's got to be Sean St. Romain. I may not be a smart man, but I know you can't commit a foul when you're on the bench. And the first free throw, no good by Catchings. The 6'4 sophomore will get another one. Second one is good. 40-25. The Marshall Buffs lead back up to 15. Here comes Malik Woods. Dribbling with the left hand, gets it into the forecourt. And now a three-pointer on the way. Marcus Spears, rebound, comes back at him, and he can't corral it. He came back so hard off the back iron that he couldn't stop the rebound, and it went out of bounds in front of his team's bench. Jalen Lowe with a long cross-court pass to Chris Marshall inside the three-point arc. Kicks it back over there to Reedus. Reedus hits the three. And it's 43-25, an 18-point margin. We're in the second minute of the third quarter. Angleton trying to get a tough road win against Marshall. They've been behind from the get-go. Little jump stop move by Majestic Ford. Gets a shot up. Ball was loose. He tracked it down. He went back to the rack and scored. It's 43-27. Angleton down by 16. Chris Marshall hammered by one, perhaps two players. And they're either going to get a Tavion Sullivan or Sean St. Romain. When I talk about Sean St. Romain, I have a craving for a salad all of a sudden. Chris Marshall's first free throw is short. Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com, and we got more basketball every day or night of the week except Thursday. Nothing on Thursday. There's Majestic Ford, shaking and baking, and a partially blocked shot by the salad man, Sean St. Romain. Let us describe the shot that he just put up. I'm not sure if it was deflected or not, but it was an air ball, and it missed the rim by 3 or 4 feet. I think it just kind of slipped out of his hand before he released it. There goes Jalen Lowe through the paint, lost the ball. Teammate got it back. Now Lowe has it back and hands it to Reedus, who scores the easy layup for the left hand from the left side. 45-27. The lead is back up to 18. I'm not sure if the Buffs have led by 20 tonight. Jalen Lowe deflects a pass. I think you heard it. Sounded like a guy blocking a punt, but it went up into the stands behind the Wildcats bench. Ford inbounds it. Malik Woods moving between the rings. Now hands the ball off to Ford. Trying to get around Lowe. Kicks it back out there to Langston Myrick. And a three-pointer from the corner. Majestic Ford can't get it to go. Rebound to Chris Marshall. And he takes it to the midcourt stripe. Gives it to Lowe. Right corner or right wing three is no good. Tavion Sullivan cleans the glass for the Wildcats. Here comes Malik Woods. Hesitation move. Sends the ball over here to Myrick. Can't get his shot. Lost. And there is Chris Marshall snowbirding at the other end, and another one-hand jam. His second dunk of the night. And it's now a 20-point lead for the Buffs. 5:09 to go in the third. Three-pointer on the way from Tavion Sullivan, way short. Rebound Chris Marshall. 3-on-2. There goes Chris to the rack, but he loses it. Majestic Ford poked it away. And we've got a timeout, and we'll take it with him. This is Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com. 47-27, Marshall over Angleton, and we'll be back.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
We want to thank the folks at Office Depot in Sugar Land, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace. They take care of business every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. Coming out of that timeout, Chris Marshall swished a 3 from the left wing for Marshall. And the Buffs lead at 50-27, but back here at this end, Tavion Sullivan drew a foul on his way to the hoop. He gets 2 shots, but the first one is no good. Chris Marshall called for the foul, and while the free throws are being shot, he lobbies the official to avoid getting called again. Second free throw was good. It's 50-28. Jalen Lowe with a behind-the-back dribble, drives into the paint, scoop shot from the right side, and it's good. Silky smooth. Jalen Lowe, just a junior, stands 6'3", might even still be growing. Angleton into the forecourt, and Lowe with a steal. He's going to go to the hoop. And he thought about dunking it, but he finger rolls it with the left hand. That makes it 54-28. Back and forth we go. Baseline jumper, no good by Sullivan of Angleton, and Chris Marshall grabs the rebound, gets it to Lowe, pushing it down the floor. Ezen sends it inside to Catchings, and Catchings scores an easy one. And back down the floor, Malik Woods trying to knife through a couple of Marshall defenders with the ball, dribbling all the way. And that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But the ball was last touched by the Buffs, and so Angleton will inbound along the baseline. And I've got a guy who just came into the game for the Buffs. I don't have him on my roster, so I've got to ask one of these cheerleaders or something during a break. I want to make sure he gets credit. And now we've got a foul inside the paint, as it was Sean St. Romain trying to get free inside, and Jalen Reedus fouled him, but still no free throws coming. It's it's not early in the third, but the Buffs have only committed 2 fouls. By the way, who's number 30? Do you know?
Number 30.
Yeah, if you find out, let me know. I like to give credit where it's due, but he's not on my roster. I'm talking to the crowd here. They're so nice. All right, now we have a whistle. Angleton trying to get to the hoop and score. And it is Sullivan who... Just a second. Rick what? Last name, first name Ricky?
I think Rick. He said Rick. His first name is Rick.
Okay, first name Ricky. All right, so I thank everyone who helped me out there. We don't have complete information, but we know the guy who wears number 30 for the Buffs and just came off the bench to join the game. His first name is Ricky. Hey, Ricky, you're so fine. Here we go. All right, Traylon Wooten with a free throw that brings Angleton within 57-29. Quickly back down the floor come the Buffs, working it around the perimeter. Marshall, a 30-footer, back iron, bounces high and hits the top of the backboard. That's a turnover. The ball will belong to Angleton. But it's a 27-point lead for the Buffs, 57-30. And oops, They just made the scoreboard say 113-30, but they quickly correct the error because they gave the Buffs one too many points. I see what they did there. It is now 56-30. It never was 57-30, but that's what the scoreboard said briefly. Okay, Angleton into the forecourt. There they go, spin move. Majestic forward trying to get free. Now it is Malik Woods, got away with the travel. Correction it with Sean St. Romain into the paint. Now it is Atavion Sullivan down the baseline. Tough luck shot, rolls out, gets his rebound, puts it back up. Thought he got fouled, but the shot no good, and here come the Buffs. Jalen Lowe ahead of everyone. Draws contact and scores. That'll count. It'll make it 58-30, and Jalen Lowe will go to the line. By the way, folks in Angleton, I don't know, those of you who are very big fans of the boys basketball team realize that we went down there for a game against the Kempner Cougars last year. It was a big win for Angleton on senior night. And we'll just have to look at the schedule. It depends on what games matter the most. But we might come down to Angleton and do one of your team's home games. But, you know, anytime they come up here to Fort Bend County and we do one of the road games, and you can't make it, you get to listen live. And it's always free on VypeFortBend.com, your broadcast home for Fort Bend County sports. 59-30, Marshall on top, quickly into the forecourt. Angleton, a clear look for St. Romain, but he missed the jumper. Quickly ahead come the Buffs after grabbing the defensive board. It is Chris Marshall slashing to the hoop, and off the window, it's good. It's a 31-point game now. This one has gotten out of hand. Ricky playing good defense on Marcus Spears. Now it is Traylon Wooten who loses the ball as he heads to the hoop. Goes out of bounds, last touch by the Buffs. All right, so there's the inbound pass. Jordan Stanley Pickett gets it in for Angleton. Traylon Wooten has it. Wooten trying to get around Jalen Lowe behind the back dribble. Gives the ball up to St. Romain. Now he sends it on the left side. It's Stanley Pickett. Can't get the shot that he wants. And the ball poked away. The Buffs grab it. And we got a foul called on Ricky, I think. He wears number 30 for the Marshall Buffs. And you heard Stanley Pickett slap the ball before inbounding it for Angleton. It is Wooten who tries to get a shot. Now it's DeMarcus Randall sending the ball inside. St. Romain lost it, but it was picked up nicely by Spears. Traylon Wooten, long way from the basket, surveying the offensive options. And now he has the ball near the top of the key. Goes into the paint, there's contact, and it's an offensive foul. Ricky takes a seat in the lane. And he draws a foul to get the ball back for the Buffs with 1:37 to go in the third. Looks like the Buffs girls are back from their road basketball game, although it may not be the varsity coming back. Can't really tell. And they're a long way from me. Jalen Lowe goes up to try to add to the 31-point lead. Missed the shot, gets it back in. Ricky kicks it out to Chris Marshall. And from the corner, it is Jalen Reedus. It's no good. Rebound comes to Ricky. He puts it up, no good. Now it's Reedus again putting it up. He's fouled and the ball rolls out. But Jalen Reedus will get 2 shots. You know, one of these nights during a blowout, well, tonight I guess it's become a blowout. It's a 31-point game. I could kind of think of some of the cheers that the girls used to lead when I was in high school. They're somewhat different. I don't know about, I don't hear guys yelling on the bus after they have won a football game like we used to do. And it is Jalen Reedus. Missed both free throws, or missed 1 out of 2. And then one of his teammates rebounded a miss. tried to go up strong and couldn't get the score. And that someone is Ellery Jones. Just entered the game for the first time. 62-30, the Buffs on top by 32. Inside, it is Majestic Ford trying to get the turnaround jumper to go, but he's a little short with it. Jalen Lowe, the rebound for the Buffs. Quickly ahead to Chris Marshall. Ball knocked away, but Jalen Reedus tracks it down, gives it to Marshall from the left corner. Another three is good, and it's 65-30. We're in the final minute of the third quarter, and the Buffs have opened up a big lead against Angleton. Traylon Wooten yo-yoing the ball, 30 seconds to go, sends it to St. Romain. Let's go a three, short, no good. Rebound comes down to Ellery Jones for Marshall. There goes Ricky to the hoop, Euro step. He draws contact, St. Romain knocked him down, and that's not easy to do. Ricky's a big fella. You know, I wonder if I have a minute-long spot where I can get over there somewhere and find out what Ricky's name is. He made a free throw. Ricky's in the scorebook. One more shot coming for Ricky, number 30. Famous Rickies include Ricky Henderson, Ricky Bobby, you know, the movie character. Second free throw was missed. Jalen Lowe tracked down the ball and was pushed into the left corner where Jordan Stanley Pickett fouled him with a hip check. And now Angleton is over the limit with its fouls, so Marshall is in the bonus. So that means free throws, a 1-and-1 for Jalen Lowe with less than 18 seconds to go before the end of the third. His first free throw is no good, but Angleton can't control the rebound. DeMarcus Randall let it slip through his hands and out of bounds. So it's a 36-point game, and Marshall has the ball again. Jalen Reedus to inbound. Quick release. Jalen Lowe with the three, and that's good. Just a second. Someone is trying to tell me something. Okay, thank you. It is, do they call him Ricky? Okay, Ricky Eaglin is number 30. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ricky Eaglin, number 30 for the Buffs, who has scored tonight. Seems like just about everybody on the Buffs team has scored. We're at 15 seconds to go. It's a 39-point game. The Buffs on top. 30, Ricky Eaglin. That's awesome. And here comes Angleton trying to get some more points on the board. Nice little head fake and an up and under move by DeMarcus Randall. 3 seconds to go. Here come the Buffs. Jalen Lowe releases it. Buzzer. No good. But a big quarter for these Marshall Buffs. I'm going to do some math during the commercial break, and I'll tell you how badly they outscored Angleton in quarter number 3. This is VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Tire and Automotive understands with the new year comes change. Well, we don't believe all change is good, so we are keeping our $15 off an oil change. So now's the time to head to the website firsttireandauto.com and claim your savings. First Tire and Automotive, supporting school and youth sports programs for years, getting you to and from the game always. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
The Marshall Buffs outscored Angleton 30-9 in the third quarter, so they have opened up a huge lead. It is 69-32, and now a turnover by Angleton. Ball slipped through the hands of Jordan Stanley Pickett. Wow. That's a big quarter, 30-9, so they have opened up a lead of 37 points. And Marshall has the ball again in the left corner. It's Ellery Jones gets rid of the ball and quick entry pass. Going inside, going outside. Damian Rasco is in the game now, and Jalen Lowe short with a jumper. Ellery Jones picks up the rebound, and now just kind of a sloppy ball being played by guys who don't get in there very often. Damian Rasco, I guess he traveled in the paint or was guilty of 3 seconds. Either way, it's a violation, but the Buffs have the game well in hand, and they will improve to 5-0 in District 24 5A play. The Hightower Hurricanes victorious tonight. They'll go to 5-1, and they'll be alone in second place. There is a move to the hoop, 2, and it counts. DeMarcus Randall fouled on his way to the hoop for Angleton. That makes it 69-34, and he'll shoot one. So let's see about these Buffs. In their district games, they have beaten Kempner, Hightower, Willow Ridge, Terry, and tonight they are on their way to defeating Angleton. So that's a tough district to play in, but Marshall looks like they are the best of the lot in District 24 5A this year. And they'll be taking on Lamar Consolidated Friday. Into the paint, Ricky Eaglin goes to the hoop. And they call him for a travel. He didn't think so. By the way, he has a much more exotic real name. It's Rashad something, but he goes by Ricky. On the way to the hoop, Angleton has some subs in there. Carson Smith has come into the game for the first time, and also in there is sophomore Michael Martinez. Keldrick Stewart is at the line for the Angleton Wildcats. 6:37 to go. Spins the ball and hits the free throw, completing, or hitting the front end of the 1-and-1, I should say. So 69-36. Second free throw good, and the cheerleaders from the Honest Planet saying, "Miss it, miss it." And I like that, because that's what you mean. You know, you could try to be a good sport, but you do want the other team to miss it, and you want it to be difficult to play in your gym. But he didn't miss it. So it's 69-37, a 32-point spread. Jalen Lowe still in there for the Buffs. Now a three-pointer on the way. That's from Jalen Reedus, but it's long and no good. And a loose ball foul, a push on Marshall as the teams were battling for the rebound. So that means that Angleton's going to shoot free throws. Both teams over the limit now. In fact, Marshall has more fouls than Angleton. 8 for Marshall, 7 for the Wildcats. And it's Carson Smith at the line. Spinning the ball, first free throw good. Good rhythm. Going in the circular pattern with the hands. Both free throws good. Carson Smith makes it a 30-point game. 69-39, 6:26 to go. Jalen Lowe meets a double team, moves between the rings, gives the ball up. And in the corner, it's Ellery Jones, the three-pointer, no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's off the hands of Damian Rasco. But actually, that's at the other end. I presumed that, and I'm wrong. It was last touched by Angleton. Quick release three from the left corner is good. Jalen Reedus. And the lead back up to 33 as we move past the 6-minute threshold. There goes Keldrick Stewart. And he gets the ball in the hands of Carson Smith. Quick release three is good. Back to a 30-point game, 72-42. Under 6 minutes to go. Jalen Lowe, long cross-court pass. Reedus thought about the three, drove toward the hoop. His shot is too hard. Rebound Carson Smith. He's pressured in the backcourt, gets rid of it. Here comes Keldrick down the left sideline trying to fight to the hoop, and he bounces it off the leg of Ellery Jones of Marshall. Smart move there. Let's hear what the girls have to say. They're done with their cheer. As soon as I turn up the little knob so you can hear the cheer, they move on. Ellery Jones, correction, it's Keldrick Stewart throws it in, and now a three-pointer on the way. Michael Martinez, no good. Rebound comes down to the Buffs. Damian Rasco cleaned the glass. Three-pointer on the way from Trey Roberts. He missed his tray. Now here comes Angleton as teams are moving back and forth quickly down the floor. And nobody seems to be getting the offensive rebounds anymore. Now it's Braden Campbell with the ball. Gives it off to Michael Martinez. His three is no good. Ball knocked out of bounds by Carson Smith of Angleton, and the Buffs will have it. 5:07 to go in this ball game that was a Marshall blowout from the beginning, but the game really got out of hand in the third quarter when the Buffs outscored Angleton by a score of 30-9. Jalen Lowe meets a double team, gets it into Ricky Eaglin, kicks it out there to Trey Roberts, and he hits the tray, living up to his name. They've been trying to make sure he got one of those, and he just did. 75-32. It's a 33-point game, and a long pass by Angleton hits their Gatorade cooler at what I believe is the east end of the court here at Marshall. By the way, I want to say hello to my new friend Russell, who was at the front door, checking people in. Ricky Eaglin kicks it back out to Trey Roberts. He gets the ball to Chase McKenzie, launches a three, no good. Rebound grabbed by Keldrick Stewart of Angleton. Keldrick Stewart faked a pass, high off the glass, and it's no good. Trey Roberts pushing it right down the middle of the floor, driving to the glass and scoring. Trey Roberts, and obviously he's a very popular young man, gets the lead up to 35 points. It's 77-42. Marshall fans, join us again Friday night. Your team is at Lamar Consolidated, and they'll try to stay undefeated in District 24 5A play. From the corner, it's DeMarcus Randall, drives the baseline, puts it up, and the rebound tipped out there to McKenzie on the run for the Buffs. There he goes to the glass, and it's no good, but Ricky Eaglin the follow, it's no good, and McKenzie was out of bounds before he tried to save it and prolong the possession. So it goes back to Angleton. Braden Campbell moves across the timeline. Steps over there near Thomas Josie, his head coach. Martinez trying to get a pick. He's free for a three, but he bounces it inside, and the ball is taken out of DeMarcus Randall's hands, but there's a foul on the Buffs. And the foul is on that tall drink of water, number 5, Damian Rasco. He's a junior center. DeMarcus Randall in and out with the first free throw. Other than the Marshall game on Friday night, I want to tell you what else we have coming later this week, as the second free throw is missed. And Eaglin grabs the rebound for Marshall. McKenzie has it, sends it over to the left side, Trey Roberts. Back to McKenzie. Now it's over on the right side. Ellery Jones has his shot blocked, but Rasco cleans it up. Here goes McKenzie. Jump stop, moving the lane, sends it to the left corner. Trey Roberts backs up, gets it to Eaglin. Up and under move, and he misses. Too hard from inside, and here comes Angleton. Quickly ahead of Martinez. Too hot to handle. Really just whoever threw it to him threw it too long. And quickly down the floor, Rasco makes the catch, kicks it back out to Trey Roberts. Another three! 80-42. They're going to try to build the lead up to 40, but Angleton, three-pointer. Braden Campbell missed everything, but Smith grabbed the rebound. He missed, and now here comes Marshall, and they do make it a 40-point game as it's a finger roll lay-in by Trey Roberts, who's getting well into the scorer's book. Carson Smith thought about the three. Now we're going to see a free throw line jumper. No, Angleton still working it. Carson Smith, three from the left side. No good. They get the rebound and an inside pass. Keldrick Stewart threw it too hard for DeMarcus Randall. 2:11 to go, and it's 82-42. We'll take a break with him. This is Roger Smith and VypeFortBend.com.
For nearly a decade, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 4 million low-income students to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet. We're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet and laptops. And now, we're turning 1,000 community centers into lift zones, Wi-Fi-enabled safe spaces to study, so more students have the tools they need to be ready for anything. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
We've got basketball tomorrow night. The Elkins boys taking on Bush at Hobson Fieldhouse, 7 p.m. Patrick Kinnick and I will bring you that one. Friday night, Marshall at Lamar Consolidated Boys Hoops. Then on Saturday, 11:30 in the morning, George Ranch at Austin girls game. And then at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, it's the Travis boys hosting Bush. No, they're at Bush, rather. Sorry about that. So Marshall with the ball inside to Rasco. Eaglin dropping the dime on Rasco. Ricky with a beautiful feed, and Rasco scores to make it a 42-point margin, 84-42. The Buffs have exactly doubled up the Angleton Wildcats. Carson Smith hands it off to Keldrick Stewart, passes up his shot, now moves to his right, gets the ball to Braden Campbell. McKenzie, tough defense on him from the free throw line, and a pass over there to Martinez. Can't get the shot off, but inside, and Angleton gets a score from number 35, Talon Moten. The 6'3 sophomore just got into the game, and he just got into the scorebook. McKenzie with a long cross-court pass for the Buffs. Trey Roberts inside to Ricky Eaglin. He feeds Rasco again. He tries the two-hand jam, and it goes in and out. 84-44. Here comes Angleton. We're in the final minute. Pulling up from the free throw line. It's good. It's Braden Campbell. And Thomas Josie wants a timeout. We'll take it with him. They're making a lot of noise despite the one-sidedness of tonight's ball game on VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgig.
Coming out of the timeout, Ricky Eaglin fed Rasco for yet another point. And then quickly answering at the other end for Angleton, Keldrick Stewart knocks in a three. 15 seconds to go. Inside pass intended for Rasco, but Martinez steals it. Here comes Stewart, pulls up, three-pointer from the top of the key. Good! 86-52, 5 seconds to go, and the Buffs will just let the clock expire. They win it by a score of 86-51, and they notch yet another District 24 5A win. They are undefeated in district play this year. You know, I have to say Ricky Eaglin played such a good game, came in late, but very productive, making that magic with his fellow post player Damian Rasco. And in the true spirit of Ricky, I wonder if Ricky Eaglin, like Ricky Henderson, will start talking about himself in the third person. Well, this was a blowout, and Marshall looking very impressive. I don't know that they even played their best basketball tonight, and maybe they're better than anyone in the state in Class 5A except Beaumont United. We shall see. The next weeks, the next couple of months will solve the mystery. All right, so when the final is 86-51, there's really not much else to say except thank you for listening to VypeFortBend.com. We got games throughout the rest of this week, and we hope you'll join us for those. It's always free to listen live or listen later on the VypeFortBend.com podcast. So our next game is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock from Hobson Fieldhouse. Elkins taking on Bush. So for Les Clary, Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat, the entire Vype team, I'm Roger Smith saying so long from Buffalo Run in Missouri City, where the Buffs were impressive. 86-51 the final. They defeat Angleton. Angleton fans and players, chin up. Things are going to get better. You're probably a playoff team. Good night, everybody, and we will talk to you tomorrow night.